David Hurley. I was surprised to see your face on national television last night. I was about to put a missing person report in because you haven't been seen or heard from in almost 500 days. And that your job as Governor General has not been done. I'm not talking about the ceremonial crap. I'm talking about the real work of standing between a tyrant government and the people and refusing to sign documents that are illegal. It's your signature on the federal declaration of a federal pandemic under the Biosecurity Act, and as such, you are liable for every illegal action that the states pulled because the states had no authority to act on their own and no authority to use their own laws in the matter. The Biosecurity Act is quite clear. The police are not authorised under the Biosecurity Act to enforce anything under the Biosecurity Act. Full stop. So every action of the police in attacking innocent people and dragging them to the ground, shooting them, physically violating their rights are illegal actions, and you are the top of the list because it's under your authority they did that, and you refuse to stand up and say no. And your silence is consent. So they will be held liable, and so will you. I have a few questions. On Anzac Day last year, a young man stood up in your front yard and accused you of child trafficking him and pedophilia against him, raping him. Is that true, David? Because again, your silence is deafening. And my understanding of the law is silent means that you agree with him. Is that right? And so here we stand. And you sit and do nothing of significance to do with the Governor Generalship. And you continually lie to us and say, I have no authority. We know you're a puppet of those in the world. But how about doing your job once? Stand up and do your job and then resign. You might be remembered slightly fondly, although I doubt it. So every day I'm going to be here, I'm going to hold you accountable for the crimes that were committed under your authority during the pandemic. Because your signature and your authority also means your responsibility. Now, I know you're a former general of the armed forces, the Army in particular, and I know the Army don't like taking responsibility once they get up the ranks a little bit. They just like passing the shit down to the foot soldiers and blaming them for everything. It's time the military start to realize that authority requires responsibility. I'd like to see some officers stand up and take responsibility for the so-called war crimes before they hang another digger out to dry. Maybe you, as the Commander-in-Chief of the military, should resign over that alone. So Hurley, get your affairs in order, resign your position, and surrender yourself to the authorities for criminal charges and crimes against humanity.